We have been talking about uh, confusion before Moshiach. We mentioned how some say that this is a very auspicious time for Moshiach since the Russians went into Crimea, and perhaps they'll go into Istanbul as well, as the Vilna Gaon semi-prophetically explained. Others say it's also to speak about Moshiach since the incident with Shabtai Tzvi. You're not allowed to talk about Mashiach, and it's an aver to talk about Mashiach. It's either a tremendous mitzvah to talk about Mashiach now, as Rav Eli Ber Vogel and Sternbach seem to say, or it's a tremendous aver to talk about Mashiach, or perhaps encouraging Mashiach Shaka to come about. It's definitely a time of confusion. And I want to share with you a very, very fascinating Gemara, which really is apropos at this time. The Gemara is in Bava Metzia, Daf Pei Amid Beis. The Gemara says like this: Eliyahu Nabi apparently frequented the yeshiva of Rebbe, the author of the Mishnayos, and one day it was Rosh Chodesh, and he didn't turn up. And Rebbe got a little bit nervous, he got a little bit concerned, and finally when he met up with Eliyahu, he said like, what happened? And he said, I was busy with the Avos, waking up Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And Rebbe saw that it was a time of Rachamim. If the Avos are being woken up, and this is a time of Rachamim, he said, is there anyone in the world today who is as great as the Avos? Yesh dugmasim ba'olam hazeh. So he said, yes, there is in fact Rabbi Chia, Rabbi Chia and his children. So what did Rebbe do? Rebbe was Gozer Tainus on the Tzibor. He declared it a fast day, and Rabbi Chia and his children came and they davened together with the whole Tzibor. So as they were davening, when they said Mashi Baruach, a wind came. When they said Morida Geshem, so then rain came. They got to the point where they said Machai Mason. They're about to say Machai Mason. And what happens? The Gemara says the whole world started shaking. It was tremendous tumult, tremendous shaking in the world. And they understood in Shemayim that Rebbe had chapped the secrets, that this was an auspicious time. And so what happens? Yeah, what happened? Eliyahu, in fact, it seems, understood that Rebbe had understood the auspicious time, and so what did he do? The Gemara says he brought he brought 60 torches of flame, and they looked like a bear, and they shook up the world, and they were matrid the world in order to, as it were, stop Mashiach from coming. I suppose that there was such a tumult that Rav Chia and his children couldn't continue to davening. But the Maharsha says on that Gemara, what's the shot that they looked like a bear? That the fire looked like a bear. So says the Maharsha over there that the bear, as we've spoken previously, is the Malach of Pras, which today is Russia. It's called Dubiel, right? And they put Gavriel was in charge at the time of the Shemayim, and they put Dubiel in charge instead of they replaced Gavriel with Dubiel, right? And that caused the world to be shaken up, as it were. Right? And the Jewish people are still meant to be meshubed under Melech Ras. In other words, what was going on there in this auspicious confrontation, this auspicious meeting, as it were, between Eliyahu Hanavi and Rebbe Chia and his children. Eliyahu Hanavi was saying, by him bringing this fire, these 60 fires in the shape of the bear, he was saying the time has not yet come for Mashiach to arrive, to reveal himself, right? And therefore he brought these fires in the shape of a bear that were still under the Melech Pras, we're still under subjugation of Melech Pras, and therefore the time has not yet come for Mashiach to come. And by bringing this confusion to the world, he was able to stop Mashiach from coming. We too are in a time of confusion. Yeah, as we said previously in the last class from Rav Yochanan, we had 10 children die. He could accept the death of 10 children with complete love of Hashem. Yet he said to Hashem, he made a request, the Gemara says in Sanhedrin Daf Tzaddik Chesed and Beis, put me in any generation, but don't put me in the generation of Mashiach. It will be too confusing. I won't know if something is, if I'm a murderer if I keep my koll open. I won't know if I'm a murderer if I keep my koll closed. I won't know if speaking about the auspicious times of Mashiach is the biggest mitzvah in the world, or perhaps it's the biggest avera. It's a time which will be characterized by paradox. We won't know what's true and what's false. Chazal tell us ha'emes nederes. It'll be very, very hidden. And as my Rebbe, Rav Shlomo Brevda Zatzal, said once from Classic Levenstein, nederes doesn't mean that it'll be gone. It'll be you'll have to dig very, very deep to get it down. We're in a time now that if you want the truth, you have to dig very, very deep. You have to look very, very hard, and you have to work on yourself and your family and anyone you can have an influence on to do tshuva and to make those final tikkunim that are needed before Mashiach can come. And we know the words of that very same Gemara in Sanhedrin, Daf Tzaddik Chesed and Beis, where Rav Yochanan said that put me in a generation, but don't put me in the generation of Mashiach. The Gemara says that the key to be saved from Chavli Mashiach is Lisaskus. B'Torah Megillah Chesed. Lisaskus, as we said from David Kohen, means complete involvement. Just like the bear is full of energy and has to all the time be busy, and this is the characteristic of Pras, which is Russia today. So too, Chazal tell us that in order for Mashiach to come, we have to be very busy. We have to be busy 24/7 with Torah of Megillah Chesed. Torah means when you learn Torah, don't be interrupted. Keep your cell phone off. Be completely focused and concentrated on your learning. And even more important, as Rav David Cohen said, right, which is the main thing we have to work on today, is Gemilas Chesadim. Gemilas Chesadim 24/7 means be focused on other people. Don't be self-centered. Care about other people. Smile as much as possible at other people because that gives them life. As the Gemara says, Ksubas, Kufyat Aleph, right? It's better to give someone a smile than to give them life. Because when you smile at someone, right, you're taking your or panav and you're reflecting it to them and you're giving them life. So, as we sit in these very confused and auspicious days, right, I ask everyone, reach into your heart and do tshuva, and I turn around the camera here and I point to the ramp going up to the base of Megiddo, and I say, we all want to walk up that ramp. We don't want that anymore to be a closed area, which is only available to Arabs and people who don't know the halachas, the base of English. We all want to walk up that ramp to the base of English, and we want it to be soon. And it's an auspicious time. Whatever you're going to say, it's an auspicious time. Even according to my Rashiva, Rav Moshe Meiselman, Shlita, he should live and be well, continue his tremendous work he does for Klal Yisrael, who says that it's usher to talk about Mashiach now. Even according to him, these are auspicious times, and I have the chance to speak to him on a regular basis. Everyone agrees that we're in auspicious times now, and everyone agrees that we should be doing tshuva, we should be coming back to Hashem, we should be reaching deep inside our hearts as much as possible to dedicate our lives as much as we can to Torah and dedicate our lives to Gemilas Chesadim. It's free. All you have to do is care about other people. When you see someone, say hello, cheer them up, make them feel good, give them chizuk. This is what we have to do now. Hashem should help us. Amen.